shit, making video is very addictive. Okay, no bullshit, you already know the game foundation. Now let's do the first game path for Mini K. As you know, Mini K is a monthly subscriber. You spend money on the monthly card. As a Mini K, your biggest advantage will be Byakuya. When you hit VIP number 7, you get 5-star Byakuya for free. So use it. And do not compare your battle power to the big K or middle K. That's gonna make you sad. So what you see right here is probably gonna be your start out formation. I know many people use that season pass to get Yuruichi. That's okay. You don't necessarily need that season pass, but if you already spend money on it, it's alright. Many people will ask, what about the anniversary characters? What about the summer characters? Don't worry, we'll go into there. The anniversary and summer characters are very special characters. Actually, at the very beginning of the global server, we don't have those fancy ones. So we were using Ichigo at the beginning. As a Mini K, I believe he already has his weapon, right? So he actually can do the rage reduction as well, just like Zangetsu. Also, Ichigo is kind of tanky. If you don't want to use those 4 summer characters or anniversary characters, you can use this guy. Don't be hesitant, because if your special characters are just 2 stars, they're kind of useless. And if you don't want to spend Omni Shard to make them 2 4 stars, just use Ichigo. Now, we have a scenario is somebody already using those special characters. Let's say you already start to using the anniversary Aizen. It's a very hot character. If you're using the anniversary Aizen, you definitely want his weapon. That makes a huge difference with or without weapon. You already know, right? And to maximize his efficiency, you need to reach him to 5 stars. If you are a Mini K and you have anniversary Aizen, you can use him as a sidekick of your Byakuya. Because if you're using anniversary Aizen, you're gonna probably end up spending more. That's the first thing. Second thing, you're a Mini K. If you're not using Byakuya, you already lose your advantage. That's a free character for you. In the end, you're probably spending your money in between a Mini K and a small K. That will make you feel really uncomfortable. Ends up you're probably gonna spend more, which is, I think, unnecessary. If you watched the previous video, you know this anniversary Aizen is actually designed for middle K and big K. So right now, if you obtain it so early in the game, you will feel the pressure. So if you don't have his weapon, if you don't have him 5 stars, yeah, just slow down. Later on, when you have extra Omni Shards, bring him to 5 stars. He can also be used in the Tiger Extreme Tower along with your Byakuya. Then everybody were probably wondering if I'm gonna use Suifeng if I'm a Mini K. My suggestion is nah, just leave it. That's for like a free to play, you know. And in this routine, you probably already figured Suifeng is not as efficient as Byakuya. Here you have your core DPS, and then your second DPS, and your support DPS. Now you see probably you're missing some crowd control in the front, or somebody can support. If you want to use Yamamoto and Zangetsu to do the crowd control, you want to give up the Matsumoto, then you can probably swap your original Ichigo to the anniversary Ichigo. This is a setup from the beginning. If you're already at the growing phase around 62 level and your anniversary Ichigo is still like 2 star, then don't worry about it. Just keep going with your original Ichigo, okay? It's usable, it's tankable, and right now you're saving resource for the later game, which you have more characters coming up. That's good for you as well, right? And now let's talk about the Summer Matsumoto. In this scenario, you don't have any of those Ichigo. And now you can see Matsumoto and Yuruichi, actually, they are the same position. It's like you're having 2 centers on the court for playing basketball. So in this case, you're having 2 tank in the front, but looking at it, since you swap out the original Ichigo with his weapon, now you're losing a little damage and you're also losing a little crowd control. So having Matsumoto and Yuruichi on the court at the same time with 2 tanks, to me is not the best solution for you. You want to balance your team based on our previous method, right? Now let's go into the last scenario. You probably have Jin, right? The Summer Gin. The best way of using this Summer Gin is definitely pair him up with the anniversary Aizen, so he can make Aizen start to unleash his rage skill at the very beginning. But obviously that requires more budget. Now since you are Mini K, you feel a little short-handed again, right? Now you understand why I told you setting a budget is such an important thing. In case you're a Mini K, you're a less spender or even a free-to-play, you already have this guy. What do? Sits him in the front, have Byakuya enrage himself. If Byakuya cannot finish off, then the sidekick will go out and finish them off. Zangetsu unleash rage skill, kill somebody, then Kenpachi will be enraged and Kenpachi will unleash rage skill again. In this way, you're doing the maximum damage from your end at the beginning. But to do it this way, you will have a problem when you're playing the extreme stage because your opponent probably is tough enough, can endure your first attack. To avoid that kind of problem, I think you really want to balance your team as a mini K. And the most resource intensified method for a mini K is you try to have both Anniversary Aizen and Summer Game on the court at the same time. If you have them at the same time, that's okay, just slowly build them up. Once he's ready, 5-star whatsoever, you can use Anniversary Aizen to replace Zangetsu. This setup with a higher initiative rate will help you have a very explosive power in the first round. So look, it has to have a higher initiative rate, which means in the arena probably it's going to be a problem, right? And try to solve that problem, you try to spend more money, which is, And in terms of their weapons, only Anniversary Aizen needs his weapon. That's essential to him. It makes a difference. So if you do want to use Anniversary Aizen, if you do want to pull him, make sure you save enough budget and have enough pulls to have his weapon. Okay, the rest of those, without a weapon, it has its basic function. Once you have the Aizen weapon and you have a little extra resource, what do? You immediately rush Aizen to 5 stars. That's going to maximize his efficiency on the court. And if you do not have Yuruichi, just use the free Matsumoto. That's fine as well, okay? As a mini K, you need to know your structure. I already talked about. You need to know your budget, and you need to know what is your advantage came out from the budget. And if you don't know what is the budget and how to construct the team and how to balance them, you need to watch the previous video. That is the foundation of all the gacha game, not just for this one, but for all the gacha game. Once you know the mechanism, it will be a piece of cake for you to decide whether I'm going to use this one, whether I'm going to raise this one, or whether I'm gonna invest this one. Yep, Aizen is super expensive. I don't know if I make myself clear about this. If you're confused, I'll try to find another way to explain to you, but I hope you know what you're doing and save some money, enjoy the game. All right, see you next time.